skin, I'm using this Wet n Wild Jelly Primer that I just discovered, and I absolutely love it. Use a small amount and apply it all over the face for hydration and to grip your foundation. The next step is to color correct. I am going to mix these two shades in the back of my hand. I don't like to go in with the orange first and then on top of under the concealer. I just like to mix the two shades together to create this peach color that matches my skin tone, and I can see immediately that it's canceling out the dark circles around my eyes. Just use a flat concealer brush to mix the two colors in the back of your hand and then apply it onto the areas where you have darkness. Here, as you can see, I have a lot of dark pigmentation around my eyes, so that's the one area I'm going, and then you'll see later on the other areas too. So by doing this method, by first painting it on with the flat brush, and then you go in to buff it out with a fluffier concealer brush, you end up avoiding creasing, and it will help to smooth out that corrector under the eyes, making it undetectable that you really have any color correction. So this is what I do, is just gently buff it in and make sure you blending it and pressing and really buffing in the corrector. Always make sure the edges are blended as well. Now I'm going to color correct around my nose, which I also have a slightly darkness, and on my chin. With a damp beauty sponge from Real Techniques, I'm blending it all out, and this will ensure that it's all smooth and melts into my skin, making it undetectable that I have any dark patches. Onto the foundation. This is Reveal from Algenist. It's a serum-like foundation with a lot of skin benefits and a lot of skincare in it. The damp beauty sponge, I'm dabbing it onto my face. I would say it's medium to light coverage. You can build it up, but it dries beautifully. It dries demi-matte, and it sits really, really well on the skin. So I'm just using the flat end of that sponge to press it around my face, perimeter, everywhere else where I want slight coverage, and actually also to bring back a little bit of color onto my face. As you can see, my face is maybe lighter than my body. What this does is it helps to balance it out. I also go around my ears and my neck. Now to contour, using this Tom Ford Cream Contour palette, which is my favorite. This cream contour color is absolutely stunning. It's universal, and I believe it's the darker shade. So I'm just placing it in areas where I want to chisel out my face. It's very, very creamy, and it blends like butter. So here I'm just placing it, and then I'm going to blend it out. And sometimes I just like to blend it as I go. But this time I decided to show you guys the placement. Contouring my nose, I'm doing the tip and just by the brow bone. This helps to elongate it, make it slimmer and a little bit more button-like. The thinner you do the tip, the more upturned it will look. Now to blend. Using the Real Techniques again, the same side where I was applying the foundation, I'm now using it to blend out the contour. This process takes a little bit of time, so take your time with it. Make sure that you do not have harsh lines and that everything has melted into the skin, leaving a little bit of it visible. You don't want to overblend here either. Now with the pointed side, I'm going in to the tip of the nose. I didn't want to use the bigger side because obviously it's going to take the contour all over my nose. So with a smaller detail, I'm able to blend this better. So make sure to really go in there and blend it out. See, I go back and forth, just to make sure that it's all blended. Now with the NYX shadow primer, I'm taking a little bit with my finger and I'm applying it to my eyelids. As you can see, this helps to brighten up the eyeshadow area, the eyelids, and also the shadows stick better. I'm going to set my face now with this Maybelline Fit Me Loose centering powder. I love it. It's in light medium. It's not light, doesn't leave a white cast, and it's like my skin color actually. Sometimes I even just like to use this as a foundation. With the powder puff, I'm pressing it onto the areas where I want to set and where I get a lot shiny, which is usually in the center of my face. So I'm basically pinching that puff and applying it gently into these areas. Then with just a little amount, I'm going to set the contour. I like to set the contour before going in with the bronzer to avoid cakiness and patchiness. If you don't do this step before your bronzing powder, then your bronzer is going to look muddy and it will just look very, very hard to blend as well because it will stick to that cream. Now I'm setting the eyeshadow primer with the same powder using a crease fluffy brush. This ensures that it won't crease. I'm also going a little bit into the brows just to prepare the brows if there's any oiliness or moisture in them so that the eyebrow products actually stick. Using the Glitzy Makeup Forever face palette, I'm going in with these two bronzers that you see in the center, mixing these two together, and I'm just going in and setting and maybe defining a little bit the contour area, just bringing back a little bit of warmth. Now you can see this, you can still see warmth in my face after I've set the contour, so this step is really not necessary. You can skip it if you don't want to do it. But I'm just doing it to show you guys in case you want a more dramatic evening look. Under harsh lights also, it will tend to show less. So I just wanted to make sure that you saw the bronze contrast on my face. And now to bake, all I'm going to do is take a wedge sponge and I'm going to go under the contour. I'm not going to bake around my eyes because I tend to get dry there and I don't want it to crease. So just under that cheekbone area and up to the corner of the mouth will help to give you the illusion of a lifted cheekbone. Now to the eyes, this is an emerald green liquid eyeliner. I'm using this to create a base for the green eyeshadow. Now this is a great trick to do because if you usually tend to do your face and use eyeshadow after, you'll get a lot of fallout from the powder of the eyeshadow. But doing it this way will help to ensure that you still have the color pigmentation, you don't use too much eyeshadow, and it just looks a lot more, it gives you a lot of punch, I want to say. So here I'm just taking it up to the crease, and I'm using a fluffy crease brush to blend it. You want to work fast with this because it does dry quickly. I'm also going to do it along my the lower lash line. So just do a very thin line and then buff it out. This is what it should look like. Now with the Prism palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I'm taking the shade called Throne, and with the tiniest amount of eyeshadow, I'm going to set this, the base. So as you can see, using the smallest amount of shadow will help ensure still that you got the opacity of the shadow on the eyes. You can put this all over the eyelids by pressing gently and blending it upwards into the crease. Now to darken the outer corner and a little bit under the lash line, I'm taking the Marc Jacobs shadow and I'm taking this sort of greenish moss green shadow and darkening the outer V of the eye and also along the lower lash line. Now to define the eyes a little bit more, I'm using this black gel eyeliner. I like this way because it helps to really intensify the eyes. So I'm basically taking this all over the lower and the top waterline. What you do is lift up your eyelids like this and apply it across. Make sure you don't poke your eye. And now to set this, to make sure that this eyeliner does not smudge, I'm taking a bit of this black eyeshadow with a small detailed brush, and I'm going to set the eyeliner. Use the tiniest amount again because you don't want fallout on your cheeks, especially with this black shade. So just pressing it, tapping it along the lash line, and setting that eyeliner will ensure it will not smudge. I'm taking it a little bit to the outer corner, extending it because I want a little bit of a wing with the eyeshadow, not with a gel liner. I want it to be a soft wing. It just defines the shape of the eye a little bit better. It's not very obvious, but it does make a difference. Onto gel liner. I'm mixing in this Inglot Duraline to soften up the gel liner so that I can then apply it with a liner brush and make sure to scrape off the excess on the sides of that pot before you go onto the eyes. Make sure you close it as well because you don't want it to dry off, although the Duraline helps to soften it. Going along the top lash line, just do a very thin liner by just tapping it dash wise from the inner to the outer corner of the lash line, and then just extend a wing slightly, not too much. Use your fingers to pull it and create that line. Going back to the glitzy palette, I'm taking a little bit of that bronzer with a fluffy crease brush and I'm tapping it along the edge of the green eyeshadow. This helps to merge the face with the eyes so it looks seamless. Also, I run it along the lower lash line just to make sure that it smokes out into a natural gradient. And now for the star of the show, taking this Pat McGrath Astral Quad Green Shimmer Shadow. It's absolutely stunning in person. Tap this on your mobile lid only. Take a nice fluffy small brush and just tap the edges just to blend them out, but do not go past your crease. The small detailed brush, take the same emerald green and put it in the inner corner. I run it along the lower lash line, but you don't see it here. You see it in the stories I posted on IG. I curl my lashes and I apply mascara and falsies. By curling your lashes beforehand, you make sure that if you have straight lashes, that it blends well into the falsies, and also it helps with the mascara to perform better. Using the Perversion Urban Decay, which I love. I forgot I actually had this. I'm just doing a couple of coats on the top and the bottom lashes. Now onto the lash glue with the lashes. I forgot what lashes they were. I think I found them somewhere on Amazon, but I'm latex sensitive. My eyes really burn when I use normal glue, so make sure that Duo has a latex free glue, which helps to avoid eye burning when you apply your lashes. Now here, I didn't wait for it to get tacky, and as you can see, I'm playing a lot with it. Otherwise, when you wait for about a minute or two to let it get tacky, when you just place it on the liner, not the eyelash hair, but the liner that you put on your lash line, it sticks. And so you just need to tuck the in and the out and you're done. But here I had to play around with it a little bit. Brushing the brows before, I'm using this brow pen from Ardell. It's Stroke Brows, so it's a brow pen. It gives you like hair-like strokes. This is in the medium brown shade, so it's not too dark, but it does make a huge difference. Just creating hair-like where there's gaps in my eyebrows and I want to make it a little bit more thick. Be very gentle with this. Don't paint it. Just do that stroke-like effect when you're applying it. My eyebrows don't match, so I'm always trying to make sure they match in size. Now I'm setting it with this brow gel, also from Ardell. Going back in to just see if there's any more gaps, and there was. Filling those in. Back into the glitzy palette. Now I'm going to apply some shimmer highlighter. There's 3 different ones on this in this palette, but I like this one. So I'm just taking a small brush, highlighter brush, and I'm going in the tops of the cheeks, just very precise location. It's not all over, it's just very lightly tapping it right. You see where that orbital bone is? Between the orbital bone and the cheekbone. This is where I want that to pop. I also go a little bit onto the brow bone. So you're really creating like a C in the side of your face. I'm doing a bit on the tip of the nose, the bridge, and the Cupid's bow. When you move your head, you have this beautiful glow. Now onto the lips. I'm using Dose of Color Nude Lips. These 4 ones, they're absolutely stunning. I'll do a tutorial on just lips in the future. But right now I'm just going to use 2 colors from these 4, which you will see. I am lining my lips with the LA Girl Cafe Liner. Which is slightly darker than the nude lipsticks, which helps to define the lips and make it a little bit more plump. So I'm slightly overdrawing. So I start at the bottom and then I join it on the sides. Bring it a little bit in to leave the center empty for the lipstick. Overdrawing just a little bit on the Cupid's bow here. If you like your lip shape, go for it. Do not overline, but it's up to you however much you want your lips to look big. And now with this stone, so this color is called Stone. It's a liquid lip and it's very creamy. I love Dose of Color lipsticks. I don't know if you guys ever tried it, but make sure you just get one because it's really, really nice. And then using my fingers, I'm just blending it a little bit. I like to create a little bit of dimension so you can see the dark, the light, and then the lightest color, which is called Sand, goes in the center of the lip. I'm just blending it slightly with fingers. And then to top it off, I'm using this NARS clear lip gloss just in the bottom, and there you have it. And now for the blush. I'm mixing these 2 shades together, tapping it, and going ham with the blush. I love blush. It's usually the first thing that disappears off your face, so if it looks too much right now, it will look better throughout the day. I'm going a little bit under the eyes as well because I love to have that, and also the center of the nose and chin, whatever is left, just to bring it all together. And now to set the face, using the Makeup Forever Fix and Mist, and that's the finished look. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and here's the demo of the before and the after. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. I hope you liked it. Share with your friends. Give it a try. If you do, please tag me, Glam and Go, and I'll see you next time. Bye.